Hey there, man.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good.
There he is.
Hey, man.
Holy
What
crap,
up,
we can
y'all?
see him.
I know,
I-
right?
We can
Lighting,
hear him.
It helps. This has been the week of fixing lights. True story.
Nice.
I rearranged my lighting situation in here, as you can see. I fixed the back porch light. I fixed the lights in my shop where I carve.
Were you just working in the dark all over the place?
Pretty much. Yeah.
This is a
Well,
look of shock.
Look at you. He's shocked.
What's up,
Shocked.
brother?
Haley Beth in the house. Laura Jane. Fish's Foe.
Hey, Fish's Foe.
The Ginn Project, I guess. He's here. Dun, 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 dun,
Wait
dun,
a
dun,
minute.
dun, dun, dun. Haley Beth Severed. Hi, Haley.
You know, you guys no longer okay. Tell me.
You got some crazy
to-
lights on you. What's up with the lights all over your face?
It's this thing that I got for my
Volume maximize. Volume
No.
maximize.
I love that thing, Haley Beth. I think I'm gonna have to go buy one.
Is that one of them transporter machines?
She can teleport all over the
Okay,
galaxy
guys,
now.
I'm
Is that
Okay.
Is that how you
just tell
teleport
me
around?
on it.
Is that how you get around all these different lives all at the same time, like Hermione from that Harry Potter movie?
Hey, I'm ready.
Hey, that was a question.
what?
That was a question.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, welcome to the Ginn Project Show. My name is Haley Beth, and I'm the owner of Haley Dot. I'm a diamond dot artist. Tonight, we're gonna be having a little discussion about pursuit of perfection. Take it away, Ginn.
All right, thank you, Haley.
You know
Haley.
how
What?
I remember. You know how I remembered that? Think of
Because you're smart.
Trivia Pursuit and the game Perfection.
Ah,
Right.
I like it. Word association.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it, Haley. Thank you, Haley. Good job. Way to go. Hey, is that how you transport all around? Is that your secret? That's why you didn't want to answer, right? Because you don't want us telling your secret. See, there she goes. All right, y'all. Now we know how Haley is able to transport around all over the place. You heard it here first, ladies and gents.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Haley, real quick.
See you
before
guys
you
on
leave.
Friday.
Hey, real quick before you leave. Did you have a good birthday?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Are you still having birthday cake?
Nope.
No more birthday
I
cake.
had an amazing birthday.
Good.
Thanks, whoever's watching. Thanks for the birthday wishes. I better go before I get in trouble.
Okay.
Okay, Haley. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Bye.
Happy
Everybody
birthday,
tell her happy
Haley.
birthday.
Bye, Haley. All right, somebody kick Haley out. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Moose. Hey, Severed. Hey, Laura. Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing all right today. Thank you for stopping in. We got the amazing A.S.H. Man and the incomparable Chad Rev Art. They're both the best damn co-hosts on any planet, in any galaxy, in any dimension. And by the way, they're pretty badass artists too in their own right.
Yes.
So tonight, in an effort to tap into this amazing resource that we have, which is Chad Rev Art and A.S.H. Man, both professionals for a lot of years, selling their art in various ways. we're going to have a discussion about the pursuit of perfection, as Haley mentioned. Welcome, Manny. As Haley mentioned, and I think it's topical following Ezra's show. I thought that was a great show, man, and I had some people reach out that were able to get some good information, and I think possibly reach out to Ezra. So don't mess up talking about it.
Yeah.
We got Eve's Artistry down there too. I see you, Eve. What's up, Chuck? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Ashman, you
Yes,
first. What kind of announcements and things you got going on? Artwork you've been doing, bodies you've been burying, anything? What you got, man?
Well, we can't talk about that. I mean,
Oh,
you
my
brought the
bad.
shovel last time
filter,
anyway.
filter, Ginn, filter.
What bodies?
Well, exactly. That's the right answer. But yeah, tonight we've got game night. So that's at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific. So if you like to have a little bit of fun and play some games, go ahead and hang out with me and Eve, and we'll do that. And then Wednesday night, tomorrow, I have Ashman's Basic Art Show. So that's at 4 o'clock Pacific and 7 o'clock Eastern. And basically, I have an hour of doing artwork, and then after that, I bring up folks to talk. And I got to know you though, so like Ginn's usually there, hanging out, and we usually talk about just about anything. So it doesn't have to be art related. It could be what you're working on, that sort of thing. But sometimes we talk about other stuff. So there you go. And then Saturday, and Ginn and I hang out most nights, 1 o'clock Eastern. So that's you'll catch me on at 1 o'clock. That's all I can say. And then Saturday is story night, and we basically just have people up and talk about stories, that sort of thing. Maybe show off a little art if that's what you're interested in showing off. And and Sunday I rest. So that's
And on
the one
Sunday
day
he rests.
this is the one day I rest. So yeah, that's what I got going on, and I've been maniacally manipulating the Muppets. So
And it's been awesome. It's been awesome. I haven't seen that one. Dude, yes. Yes,
Did that one
I
early
haven't
morning.
seen that one yet. Oh, my
did
goodness.
that one early morning. And yeah, so it's been fun messing around with those guys. And
Jim
I've gotten
Henson
a lot of
himself
good
would love
response
that.
from it, man. Jim Henson would just be floored by it, I think.
He would crack up. He would
I
laugh.
think he would. He had a good sense of humor. And then
That was a sick dude. I mean, look at the characters he came up with.
I love that one, dude.
Yes, yes. Wait, was that a head? Was that a head in the
That-
foreground?
Yes.
Six,
Fraggles.
six.
Two
The
of them.
number of the beast.
There's Mobley. Is it Mobley? And Wembley?
I don't know the names of the Fraggles,
Oh
actually.
my gosh.
Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome.
But yeah, so I've been doing that. And some people love it. Some people think something's wrong with me.
Oh,
might
we
be
know
right on
something's
both.
wrong with you.
Something beautiful. What's up, Cat?
Yeah, something wonderful. Hey, Kat. That's my best friend's wife down there.
Oh, right on.
And my sister. Pretty
Hello, best friend's wife.
Hello, best friend's wife.
AJ. You know AJ.
Yeah. What's up, AJ's wife? I'm sure she has her
I
own
don't know
identity,
AJ.
but much like my
Yeah.
wife, she goes by Mrs. Ginn on this platform. So, hi, AJ's wife. Good to see you.
So that's what I got going on. That's what I got cooking. Besides hanging out with you knuckleheads on Thursday.
You also have a website.
I do. It's Ashman's Basic Art Store. And I'm going to be putting these Muppets on there. So if you guys are interested in those Muppets, They're going to be on.
And that is
Yeah.
dot
Some are already
com.
gone. So, yeah.
Nice.
That's .com.
.com.
.com, y'all. Ashman's Basic Art Store.
Ashman's Basic Art Store.
.com. And you can get you a Ziploc baggie, except I put them in the Ziploc bag. The Ziploc bag doesn't come with them. It's different. But you could get some. There's Steve Buscemi. That is a Ashman original. Here's Mr. Spock cheesing. Another Ashman original. You got Batman here doing some drooling. Thirsty Batman.
Thirsty Batman.
Adam West version too, old school folks. Then you got Popeye right here, rocking it out.
I love that one.
I do too, man. I do too. Steve Buscemi's still my favorite one, but I like the Popeye one a lot. And you can even get you some The Dark Side.
Nice.
The Dark Side.
I need a sticker of the alien head you did of me. That's what I need.
Oh my gosh, that would be dope, man. That would be awesome. And and Chad, could you please tell us? Not only is the art amazing, but there's something on the back of these stickers that make them so.
They're so sticky.
Oh my goodness, they're so sticky. So get you some Ashman's Basic Art Store merch.
Do it.
Right now, everybody does it. Make you feel good. That's the new tagline for Ashman's Basic Art Store. Everybody does it. Makes you feel. Maybe that should be the one for the slathering. Everybody does it. Makes you feel good.
Makes you feel good. I learned it from you, Dad.
So sticky. So I hesitate to put this man in the big box because he's got big things going on, and there's going to come a day, folks, that like this guy's too big to hang out with us, right? Ashman went through that phase, and now he's just don't care anymore, so he hangs out with people like me.
Bro, I'm only 5'9". I am not too big to hang out with y'all.
but Chad's been making time with famous folks here lately, and we don't ever see him anymore because he's always working on cool stuff, which I'm totally okay with. I'm here for it. But if you got any tomatoes or anything, you better throw it at him now, because unless it's here or on the Low Orbit Lounge, he's hard to catch. He's quick too, and he's got light, Ash. We can see him.
I know we can see him. It's a miracle. Let there be light.
I've actually just got Ezra taped to the ceiling, and he's illuminating everything.
He's your power source.
He is the guiding light, so now you can see me. So, yeah. Man, I actually do have a few things I would love to talk about.
Yes, sir.
First off, our friend Johnny Ray has a GoFundMe. You can find it in all of our bios. I don't know if she's in here right now or not, but she is undergoing chemotherapy, and she could really, really use your help. Also, in our midst right now, Rebecca. She is dealing with cancer right now as we speak. She also has a GoFundMe. I can't remember if it's in my bio. If it's not, it will be when the show's over. Wife, please remind me, because I have Swiss cheese brain sometimes. So I would love for you guys to drop a buck on them. If you don't have it, go share those out to every social media you have. I'm sorry, Rebecca, but you're a warrior. Guys, she's right here, right now. Give her some love. And then go check out, I'm sure you might be able to find it on her page. Again, after the show, it'll be on my page. Now, that leads me to my next thing.
Can I just say, Rebecca is a Ginn Project and Chad Rev Art Show OG. Like, she's back there with, Natasha. She's OG. One of the first times Chad and I did a let's say an event.
TikTok party tour?
Yeah, to kind of raise funds. Rebecca was there. Very first time you and I went out together doing our thing. Very first time. We went out, we used to do it a little different, but we went out for a fundraiser, and we went and visited a lot of places, and Rebecca was chilling with us.
and she was making it rain, helping folks out. So I would really love if everybody could return the favor, even if you can only afford the free stuff, which I totally get, and share it out. Yeah. So Rebecca, we love you. Johnny Ray, we love you. Again, that brings me to my next subject. I got a package today from My Spot at Your Spot.
Oh boy.
And it's not for me.
Oh boy.
I have not spoke with you recently, Rebecca. I've been crazier than normal. I would say crazy, but crazier than normal. I do not know if chemo has affected your hair yet, my dear. But I was sent something from My Spot at Your Spot. And these are hats. And they're breathable. So knowing what I know from experience, you want that bald head covered up. Johnny Ray, you want that bald head covered up, but at the same time it can get hot quick. These are breathable.
And your skin's sensitive.
And your skin is sensitive. I know this. You can flip them inside out. I got them in today. One of these is Johnny Ray's. I believe it.
The emerald green
color?
one.
Teal.
Yeah.
I think it was this one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the Wizard of Oz one. The Wizard of Oz color was the one Johnny Ray
Oh,
liked.
right.
Yes. Yes. So I am going to. I haven't kept up with the chat here.
They said you're cute, Chad.
Are you-
Johnny said you're cute.
She did not. You lie. You lie.
You're right.
So yes, Johnny, hit me up. I think I have your address, but let's make sure. I want to get this shipped out to you. Rebecca, I don't know if you need it yet, but I know that you probably will if you don't already. So hit me up and we'll get the colors out and show you. I've got, let's see, let's take the teal one out. There we go. Is that a pink? Is that what I'm seeing? It's like a hot pink. It's pretty cool. And then we have it's like a dark navy blue color, almost a purple tint to it. And then a red one. So let me know. I'll get these shipped out to both of you ladies. And if anybody in the chat is undergoing chemotherapy and you need another, or you need one, I still have more. Please hit me up. You don't even have to do it here if you don't want to. Hit me up privately. That's fine. And I'll get one shipped out to you. And just let me know. I only have a handful, so I can only do it a couple times. But that's what we got. So I wanted to thank My Spot at Your Spot. I know we're going to talk about striving for perfection. And I believe that people like her are accomplishing it through their deeds. So we'll get back around to that later.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man,
Yeah.
that's awesome. My Spot at Your Spot is dope. She was on the show a couple of weeks ago. You can catch her interview over on the Y Tubes. She's a very interesting lady. I like her a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're gonna start.
Now
I got about
now
half a
let's-
dozen pieces I'm working. Go ahead.
Now let's get to some Chad Rev art stuff.
Sure. I got about a half.
Don't you have a
dozen pieces
website?
in the works right now? I do.
What
could
can
you tell
folks
them where
get at
that
your
was, Ash?
website?
I don't know where it is.
I don't like this guy no more.
I don't know that.
ChadRevArt.com.
Oh,
You can find things like The Pernicious Idol.
That's amazing.
And I would like you guys to know that Pernicious, while I don't really want to let go of him, he is available. And he is not at gallery price,
Ooh.
if that helps. He is at buy it from the artist price rather than gallery price. So you can find things like that here and more, and there will be a whole lot more coming. So yeah. Let's see here.
And you can
No,
get that
actually,
at
Jason-
chadrevart.com. There you
Mama
go, buddy.
T, I think I can speak on this for a moment.
Whatever you want to do.
Mama T stepped in like the superhuman that she is. Hey, what's up, Mikey? And she took
Mikey.
care of all the artists that she has been able to take care of. to make sure that their work got back home safely. So, if you are an artist, and I think there might only just be a couple, if any, that has stuff over there, hit up Mama T. But I want you to be very thankful for her because she did not have to do this, and she took it upon herself because she's a good human. That's how it came back to me. But
Yeah,
it's available.
because someone else dropped the ball.
Yes.
It's available
Yes,
at chadrevart.com. There you go.
Stitch.
it is. So yeah,
Right on.
that's what I'm
Right
up to.
on.
I just cleaned out. If you guys have been following us for a minute, you hear me talk about every few months I have to go through and pull everything out of my carving studio, clean and reorganize and put it back in. I did that. I did that within the last few days, and I fixed my lighting in my studio. So we're about to be fired up making a whole bunch of sawdust because Daddy's back.
Nice.
And when is this going to start?
Very, very soon. Within the next few days, I'll be out there. I finally got everything together.
Is there an armada roaming your property right now?
Yeah, it's for sale. If you guys want an armada, hit me up on the cheap. There's another announcement that Ash left out. You did not talk about October 25th.
Oh, I did not.
Ooh.
I'm going to give kind of a skim over and then maybe hand it back to you.
Okay.
Because can I make an announcement about it, or would you like
Sure.
to?
No, go ahead.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you don't know,
This is great. I'm just going to watch from over here, y'all.
my dude here is having a marathon. Does it have a name?
It's Ashman's Basic Marathon.
I love that. I love it. It's going to be on October 25th. Now, Pacific time, it starts at 7 p.m. and it's going to go for 12 hours. 12 hours of Ashman's Basic Marathon. And from what I hear, and he'll fill you in on more details when I pass the mic back to him, but there's going to be a lot of your most loved folks will be there doing really cool stuff. And that brings me to an announcement before I hand it back to him. On October 25th at 10 p.m. Central, am I correct on that?
I'd have to look at my list again, but I believe you're right.
10 p.m. Central.
Sounds right.
I'm going to break out this again because it will be the one-off, one-time return for 1 hour of the Chad Rev Art Show on the Ashman Basic Marathon. Return of the Chad Rev Art Show. So yes, we decided to do that. We're going to bring it back for a one-time special. So you better be tuned in to the whole thing, to be honest.
Your
But if
boy
you wanna
gets to
be
be
my
a
friend, you
co-host
better
on
be
that
tuned
one.
in.
I love that show. I get to be a co-host over there and just talk smack,
Well,
not
it's-
responsible for
it's-
anything.
You know,
That's
I really
awesome.
thought about it, and it's the return, but it's going to be an upgrade. And you may ask yourself, how in the world could you upgrade the Chad Rev Art Show? And I asked myself that.
I'm excused from that
But the-
hour. Is that what you're about to say?
No. I'm bringing my co-host with me. Y'all know I can't go without that. But the upgrade is the Ashman co-hosting as well with us because it's his marathon.
So
So-
he's hosting the show that he's co-hosting on, and you just can't do that. Y'all can't do that. He is co-hosting a show that he is the host of.
Yes.
It's very
It
meta.
might open a TikTok wormhole. Maybe.
Thank you, Stitch.
There's the thing. Follow,
Hey,
hit
Moose.
the
Hey, Raven.
notifications for everybody here.
Hey, Mondo.
Because we're all about to embark on some crazy stuff really soon. It'll be fun. And it is October 25th during the Ashman Basic Marathon. While it starts, you know what? I'm going to pass the mic back to Ashman so he can tell you more about it, because it's a lot, and it's awesome.
It is a lot. It is a lot. So,
And I'll be
October
there more than
25th.
just my spots.
Oh
but
yeah, yeah.
Chad
we'll,
Red
have, we'll have people through all day. You know, it'll be October 25th, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific time.
It's a Saturday, right?
And yes, it's a Saturday. And Laura came up with the time schedule, and it was beautifully thought out. So that made sense to me. So we'll be having a lot of fun. The first hour is going to be Ashman's Basic Art Show. So it's just going to be me hanging out with you guys, drawing for a bit. And then we're going to have the Chad Rev Art Show. Yes. So I'm excited about that because, you know, I could sit back and just watch this for an hour. See what happens. See what goes on. Like a fly on the wall.
Chaos.
I'll
It's
just
gonna
have
be
a bucket of
chaos.
popcorn. Just hanging out. And then we have Dr. Tompkins Dance Hour. You'll have to tune in to see that. And then we have Story Night, which is our average fare on Saturday. And then I will talk to you guys about the occult and that sort of thing at midnight my time. And
That's
I'll be
10,
reading Edgar Allan Poe, Annabelle Lee, and The Raven. So we'll talk about all things spooky because we're coming up on Halloween. And then, of course, the normal flow states with my buddy Ginn. So we're just going to be hanging out, flowing, doing what we do. Maybe we'll see other people there. Who knows? People might drop in. And then I'll have my own flow state because Ginn's got to go to bed at some point. He's going to be like, I got to go.
Never.
So we'll hang out as long as he can hang out. And then I'll have my flow state. And then it will end. It will wrap up with a song from Kermit about a certain thing that he misses. Thanks.
It's going to be fantastic.
Do not miss the last hour of Ashman's Basic Marathon. If you do anything, you might want to see that song at the end. And
Gotta
I'm
go out and bang.
wordsmithing it.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness, man. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
It should
And by
be
the
fun.
way, y'all, Ray Bay in the chat, that's Rachel. That's our Rachel from Valena. Ray Bay.
Oh,
Oh, what's
hey.
up?
Just making sure everybody's aware of that. That's our people right there. So y'all make sure to give Ray Bay some love for anybody that what does Kermit miss? She wants to know. That's Rachel.
We'll have to find out.
Tune in.
And she's got some music coming out too, y'all. Keep an eye out. So I have an announcement too. If you happen to be on the Ginn Project Show tonight, right now in the chat, and you would like to be on the Ginn Project Show this year, raise your hand now, and it's a way to get your name on the list. So if you raise your hand during this show, put your name on the list, and you will have a priority because we did it today, and you could potentially be on next week.
Absurd. An open door. That pretty much goes for people who haven't been on it.
Yes.
Jason, Rachel are both hands up.
Jason,
Gotcha.
I think you were on, weren't you? Or am I crazy? I could be crazy.
No, neither one of them have been on
No?
individually.
Okay. My bad. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking you did, Jason. Only if I can spill all the tea.
Is it Earl Grey?
Heard that. Heard
Or is it
that.
I prefer coffee, but I am down for a little tea spilling.
Right on. Okay. Well, remind them.
That's right. Okay.
If there's anybody during the show that decides they may want to have a shot at being on the show, raise your hand. I'll put your name on the list, which, if you remember the announcement made a while back, the only way that you can currently get on there is you got to send me, saying that you would like to be on.
or you have to be recommended by somebody. So
Yeah.
somebody on the team here.
Well,
So
let-
go ahead, Chad.
Let's double down then. I was planning on having an episode of The Window during the Chad Rev Art Show. And if you guys don't remember The Window, it's where you have 13 minutes to tell everybody who you are,
And
what you
whispering
do,
ducks.
why you do it, why anybody should give a 13 minutes. At the end of 13 minutes, you get cut. So, that being said, while I already have a couple of people on my list, if you would like to be the guest on The Window during the Chad Rev Art Show on the 25th, put your hand up or hit me up personally, and I will put you into the list of consideration. But please remember, I only have one spot, and it's only a one-time thing that we're doing.
That's right.
So, what's up?
I was going to say, so I would assume that Jason and
wall.
Rachel would be in the running for that as well. I'm just wondering if they want to raise their hand for.
Jason has already been
For
on
that-
The Window. That's
Jason
why I
has
was
been
confused.
on The
I was
Window?
thinking he'd been on
Gotcha.
there. Yeah, I
That's
thought
right.
he was
I
on your
gotcha.
show, but he was in The Window.
Gotcha. All right. So
Moose
Rachel,
recommends Rachel. For what? Rachel, it's called The Window. It's part of the Chad Rev Art Show. You get 13 minutes to tell everybody who you are, what you do, how and why you do it, and why anybody should give a
Mikey, of course, Mikey.
Mikey, what's up, dude?
Do you have something that you can talk about for over an hour, Mikey? That the good people might be interested in? Or the 13 minutes?
That's Chad.
Well, that's the thing for you, Rachel. The window at 13 minutes, it gets cut off even if you're still in the middle of a sentence, which is why people were more anxious about going on the window when Chad Rev Art was doing the show, because it was
little more
a
pressure.
hard stop. It was a end of the album, the record skips and everything.
Yeah, stopwatch. Literally. Okay, ready, go. So yeah. Right? I just be talking to myself.
Right on, Mike.
That's all right. Me too. Me too.
I'll just be talking to myself. All right, cool. So we got Jason, Rachel, and Mikey on the list. Anyway, it was just another way you could get on the list. Doesn't mean anything's going to happen any sooner than before. Well, I do have a little secret. Rachel has an inside straight because Rachel and I already talked about she's got some stuff coming up. So there's a good possibility that we were going to see Rachel one way or another pretty soon.
Nice.
Do we answer though? Only if we want to. We only respond when we want to respond, Rachel. That's pretty much how it works.
Yeah.
So fellas, we were going to do a discussion tonight on the pursuit of perfection. And I think that's a interesting conversation because my observation is the people that I look around and find myself kind of in awe of, if that is a thing, they're all people that from my perception pursue perfection. But the irony is they all realize that it's an unattainable goal. None of them actually, when you talk to them, think they can arrive at some perfect point. Yet their pursuit is perfection. That's just my thought of how we might start off that conversation.
Yeah, my art instructor, Steve Missel, which everybody goes, really, that's his real name? Yes, it was his real name, Steve Missel. He would start every class off with, okay, let's begin, no mistakes, which was a joke because so many of us were putting so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect or do things exactly the way it's supposed to be done. And it was a way to break the ice and break us into the idea of don't take this so seriously, that sort of thing. And I don't know, it always stuck with me to just kind of look at things, look at your art and go, yeah, it's not perfect. And some of my artwork lately has been about the imperfection of it, like splattering coffee on it or spreading ink and just letting it fly all over it, going outside of the lines, that sort of thing. And it's really against the grain of what people are shooting for. And for me, I think all the imperfections in the art kind of give it character and give it life. So that's my idea of what imperfection is, and chasing perfection, which I will never do. I like the idea of trying to be better every day, but perfection, that's just not going to happen. You know, that's just not my thing. So, and like you guys with the wood, you know, it has the imperfections in it, and you bring it out, right? You bring out the beauty in it. So
I like to highlight the imperfections. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the feature.
yeah.
Well, perfection is completely like perception too. You know, I mean, one person's perfect is definitely not the next person's perfect. So, trying to find something that is a constantly moving target, you know, I mean, I think when I strive for what I would think is perfection, I would think my perfection is having the skills in my hands and my brain to be able to do what's in my brain without hesitation, without fighting, you know, just kind of go in and do it. I think that's the perfection that I chase. But again, that's a moving target,
Oh yeah.
you know. So
It's funny. Rachel just mentioned kintsugi in there, and I have segments on that too, where broken pottery is repaired with gold lacquer,
Yes.
making the cracks a celebrated part of the object's history and beauty rather than hiding it. Which I kind of feel like that's scarring too. Like when you go through
Yes.
life and you're just scarred up and
Yes.
beat up,
Yes.
and it shows
Absolutely.
shows where you've been, shows who you
Yes.
are, that sort of thing.
That is one of my favorite types of art. Is in fact kintsugi. I mean, obviously, I mean it's amazing. They literally highlight the imperfections in their repair, making it, you know, complete again with its imperfections. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Hi, Mrs. Ginn. Speaking of beautiful, there's Mrs. Ginn.
hello, Mrs. Ginn. Oh
I
my
think we got a
goodness.
restless boy over here.
It happens.
So, you know, Chad, this whole concept of striving toward the perfect, like you and I started out this journey on your show. That's the cool thing about it. It's coming, you know, you're bringing it back one time. And we would have meetings every night, and I'm just going to tell like a little anecdote here, kind of. And then we started doing
Yeah.
the Ginn Project Show, and that meant we were having twice the amount of, you know, like we would literally talk most of the night, most nights, trying to figure out what to do the next day, like in our lives or on the shows. Because at first we were doing 2 shows. We were doing back to back, the Ginn Project Show and then Chad Rev Art Show on Tuesdays, and then we were doing another one on Thursdays. And we did that for some months. And it was like from having to deal with like trolls and the negative type of stuff and having to implement things to account for that, all the way to trying to actually have better shows. It was this constant pursuit of trying to perfect this information that we had almost, right? But we both realized that there was no perfect way to do it. Yet at the same, and the irony was, the whole time we were doing that, there were still a lot of people that didn't realize that they were both produced shows. Yours was kind of about nothing, and it was ironic in its production. But the Ginn Project Show was very much planned and thought through, and we would have meetings and stuff. and then people in the show would respond as if it was live, but obviously we talk on occasion. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so perception can also blind you too, right? Like that pursuit of perfection. I'm trying. I don't know if it makes sense, but it almost will pigeonhole you as well if you're not careful, because you're always looking for that same thing. It'll keep you from looking at other stuff.
I think it robs you of the journey as well. Can't appreciate the journey if you're just focused on this certain kind of perfection.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I like to try to move and learn and work more organically.
Y'all, I'm going to stop for just a moment. I never do this during the show. I never do this. But Abby, the spoon lady, just joined in the chat, y'all. And in all seriousness, I have a lot of respect for Abby. Abby does not know me. She has no idea who I am. But I live close to Asheville, and there is a statue of her in Asheville that is actually, in her words, being used inappropriately to keep the unhoused and people who do not have access to food from gathering in certain places that was meant to be a community gathering place. I hope I didn't mess that up. But Abby is an amazing human being. She's an absolutely phenomenal. She plays spoons, and she is very knowledgeable about the traveling culture, travelers culture, I believe it's called, and the old we talked about this on the show one time. It was called hobo culture, and the coins that were made as artwork. So I just wanted to take a moment to say hi to Abby if she's still in here. Abby, thank you so much for joining. I have a ton of respect for you. I know that you don't know me. I don't want to put you on the spot. You have no idea who we are, but please give her a follow.
Our kind of people.
We always talk about the fact that we are humanist and we are biocentric. And if there is, I don't know of a person. I saw a highlight with Abby, and someone tried to, one of the trolls came through and tried to be crappy to her about the topic of the unhoused. And the comment was something to the effect that you always hear, right? It was something to the effect of, well, if you care so much, why don't you let them live with you? Well, here's the reality. Abby does. Abby has a room in her home that is for folks to live in. So her response to that wasn't some highfalutin ideal. It was that, the room is right over there. In practice. So thanks, fellas, for letting me derail us for just a minute there.
That's amazing.
But I actually went up the other day, the show that Ash was talking about when he does his show, and it was about telling stories. I went up the other day, and the story I told was that Abby, the spoon lady, had followed me.
Yeah.
No kidding, y'all. Like, I'm a huge fan of her, because I think people that put themselves out there for other human beings should be the ones that are held up in the light.
Yeah.
So thank you, Abby. I think you're brilliant.
If there's anything we can do to help your situation, your cause, please let us know.
Oh yeah.
We'd be more than happy to help with that in any way we can.
And Abby, if you ever wanted to be a guest on the Ginn Project Show, you would be welcome. Please reach out to me. You would always be welcome. We start the show at 9. At 9:30, we would have the guest on right now. Tonight, we're doing a panel discussion. Normally, we would have a guest on right now, and that would go for an hour. I talked to the person on the phone a day or two before, and we set up the show together to make sure we only talk about what those people want to talk about, whatever art, whatever. We steer away from politics and religion, and I've heard you say similar. Obviously, we have some similar views on things, so we obviously skirt around the edges. But if you're still in here, Abby, reach out if you're ever interested in being on. We'd love to have you on. All right, back to the regularly scheduled programming. Thank you for humoring me, guys.
No.
Kira.
Always shine a light on folks like that.
Absolutely, and I would do it again because she is one of those folks. I believe in the mission. So those of you that know me understand what that means. So thanks everyone for that. And there's another example though, the pursuit of perfection in humanity, right? I was going a different way with that. We were kind of talking about how you could get pigeonholed sometimes if you, in that pursuit of perfection. And the distinction is, I think, that the people who I believe that get it, they understand the pursuit is perfection, right? But as Chad said, you have to take the time and enjoy the journey. I absolutely love woodworking. It's basically my third long-term career. I've done a lot of other things, from bartending to washing dishes, waiting tables, whatever. Putting down floors, tying steel, working with millwrights, carpentry work. My first gig at LSU was cleaning bathrooms and emptying trash cans. So when you're doing those type of things, you still try to do them well, or I did. The fact that I made sure that I did the little stuff well when I was bagging groceries meant they gave me a chance to check groceries out, which meant a little bit more money, right? So the pursuit of perfection, we see it in a lot of different ways, is what I'm trying to describe long-windedly here. And I would argue that pursuit of the humanitarian envelops a much larger portion of the artist and music community. I know that artists have, as we've talked about before, artists have higher incidence rates of trauma, higher incidence rates of mental health needs, higher incidence rates of being unhoused, higher incidence rates of food insecurity. So we know that it's in the data. We can look at it from a lot of different sources. We can even pick sources that only we like, and most of those say the same things, right? So even if our biases get the best of us, there's some commonalities here. So, and I spent a good portion of my life writing training programs with folks with a whole variety of needs, and this perfect thing came up there too, right? The story about the client that I had that told all of the other providers that he wanted to be a brain surgeon so nobody would touch him because he had a traumatic brain injury. Well, after we got to know him, it turns out he just wanted to feel important and part of something and respected. And the last I heard, he still had his job working at the hospital where he got to wear the white coat just like a brain surgeon. It had his name embroidered on it just like a brain surgeon. And he was in the patient services department and happily employed. So for him, that was perfection, was being needed, being meaningful, being respected. But other people's perception of what he wanted was, oh, this kid with a brain injury saying he wants to be a brain surgeon. There's no way to do that. I don't want him as a client. That duality of the pursuit of perfection can also lead to some pretty awful things, right? Cleansing.
Yeah.
What you are pursuing also matters.
Yes.
Yes.
That's where I'm going with this, Charles.
It's kind of funny.
Well,
You guys
I mean-
Oh, go ahead, Chad.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's funny you're talking about perfection and struggling to achieve perfection. And I just thought of that, the thing I always say is about Sisyphus. We must imagine Sisyphus is happy. It's because within your work, you have to find happiness in pursuing the work. The struggle has to be something. You have to be getting something out of life, because if it was always perfect and it was always easy, you'd be bored. So that was the only point I was going to make.
That's true.
You're right.
I think, like with the homie you were just talking about, wanting to be the brain surgeon, at the bottom of it, when you really get down to the root of it, like you said, he needed some respect. And he needed to be seen as an equal. And I think if there's anything that could be considered maybe perfection, is if folks could learn, or maybe even just working towards perfection, is if folks could learn to afford that to everyone. Because at that point, a lot of other things start to fall into place. And I think that if everybody had an equal respect, and don't get me wrong, I'm giving a whole lot of credit to a species that I would love if they could do it, but all we can do is try. But if everybody can have the same respect and be looked at, I think a whole lot of things would start changing just with simple equality across the board for everybody, for everything. Because then nobody's having to necessarily want for a whole lot of things. I think that's the only kind of perfection that you could even try to go for. I mean, even without absolute perfection, anything that's worthwhile is going to take more than our lifetime to do, most likely. It goes kind of with the planting seeds of a tree that we'll never enjoy the shade of.
And everybody has a different idea of utopia, right?
Yep.
So it's like, and that's part of the challenge, is that everybody has different ideas of what is utopia and perfection and that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
And that's why societies always battle that sort of thing. So, because the ideas are just so different from one another, and we can't see eye to eye.
Abby, yes. That right there, that sentence bothers me to my core.
Yes, Abby.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not just about those without homes. It's about children. I have a grade school child, and all I can think is the kids that can't afford breakfast before they go to school. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of programs, but not everybody's able to get those programs because they make them pretty sticky.
Yep.
And I just think of a hungry child trying to focus and be an intelligent adult after that. And if we had equality, that includes food equality, housing equality.
And we all came from backgrounds that weren't great, like for that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
and and our parents had it even worse. Like my dad knew guys going to school and they'd stick a greasy rag in a paper bag so it looked like they had food. I mean, that's the kind of thing that those stories remind me of, like how bad things can be.
How awful. Where did we go wrong that we let people walk among us with an empty stomach?
Yeah.
I mean,
Here's the heartbreaking part for me, and it comes with the burnout that I've talked about before of my last profession. I carried with me extra boys and girls clothes, food, soap, toiletries, and I also kept toiletries for adult men and women with me all the time. I had a bag with me all the time and when I was in the classroom, whether it was a private school or public schools, for the time that I was working there, I kept in my classrooms several sets so that I had the different sizes available, because a lot of the times kids would show up to school filthy, dirty, and hungry. And it isn't the kid's fault. If their parent is strung out, or sometimes working 3 jobs, or sometimes really good people have awful things happen to them, right? Just because things aren't going well.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is I saw these kids come in, and there were people that looked down on them as if it wasn't hard enough. And the reality is we are all one car accident away from being on the streets, the way our healthcare system is. I know this because I daily fight with the insurance company about stuff that they denied the nitroglycerin that was given to me as the medication in a hospital was given to me, gave me a heart attack. They denied that the nitroglycerin was necessary. So that's the kind of shit we're talking about, right? So the idea that someone is impoverished for whatever reason, or someone doesn't have whatever, that they are less than, we also got to figure out how to stop doing it, because it's a lot of blaming the victim kind of thing. There's a lot of people in the world acting like the victim, while at the same time, there's some people in the world that are actually victims of the system they're in. So, in this pursuit of perfection, sometimes that is also used like it was used in the school system, right? When they first started classifying children as back then, it was special needs. They changed the funding metrics for how schools got funding. Well, suddenly they wanted every kid they could with any kind of problem, with any that ever got in trouble for anything or ever had any issue. They just wanted to put them in the special needs class, not because it was the best for the kid, but because that's where the money was. That's how cynical it was. So in this pursuit of perfection, I hope that we keep it human centric, right? And I would go further than that. I tend to be, and people can think of me what they will, but we just lost our cat. We're pet people.
Homie.
And to me, that's a life. And I grieve. I miss her.
Dude.
And
I grieved my chicken last week.
Yeah. Right. You lost Chucky recently, and it just, for me, it's cumulative, and I don't want to get emotional, but it stacks, and every time it seems to get harder. But to me, it's this fundamental. That's a life that shared its journey with me for 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that life is gone. So every moment the last week for me has been this pursuit of perfection. Like, all right, we don't know if we got an hour left with her, if we've got 12 hours left with her, or how long. So I'd like to try to make these next moments the best that we can for her. Right? So that pursuit of thanks, y'all. And I probably shouldn't have brought that up, but I think it's poignant because life matters.
Yeah.
And human life matters. And how we treat each other matters. I always hear, we don't do politics or religion, but I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody yell 316 at me. And when I said 2045, they got mad. Because how you treat the least of these is what I think it's supposed to be about. And they don't want to hear about that part. They don't want to hear about that part.
Nope.
So I think that's part of the perfection of the journey is how we treat each other matters, including how we treat our enemies, how we treat people we don't like. For example, I hear people saying they want to do awful things to other Americans all the time. That's why we don't talk about politics or religion, because we don't want to hear that shit. Because who the hell trying to be that way?
That goes back to what we were talking about a minute
what
ago
future
with the
is
ideas
that?
Of utopia, like different
Right.
people's ideas of utopia. I don't see that as a utopia at all.
No, some people think everybody thinking alike, everybody believing the same thing, everybody doing the same thing is utopia. To me, it's not. I've been around the world and I've had people describe to me what their vision of heaven is. And I can tell you, very few times have I heard anything that sounded good to me. I'm just saying, like, on a philosophical level.
People that tell me about that.
Like, to be on a philosophical level, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, you might notice. So I don't need anything covered in gold. Like, I'm good on that. Thanks. That's not appealing. Right? Does everybody get to eat? Does everybody got a place to rest their head?
That's what's up.
Does everybody have a friend? Is there anybody out there that's not lonely right now? That's what I'm looking for.
I always think about something. When I first say this, you're going to be like, well, that's a selfish thought. But once I get to the end, you're going to be like, whoa, okay. I always think to myself when you go to the beach, right? It's like, man, I really wish I could just be here standing on this beach by myself watching the waves come in. Like, I wish I could have that experience on this earth. And it's like, the same thing. I wish I could go into a gallery and see, like, name any famous painting. I wish I could see that and just stand here and experience it by myself. You go to these places and they're crowded. Okay? But my point at the end of all that is, every person that you meet, no matter what they look like, sound like, what God they worship or don't worship or whatever, they're having their own unique experience. Just, if not more, complicated than your own. So I believe, while I can't walk to the beach and be completely by myself, I believe that everybody should be free to experience this reality that we are all experiencing freely as they wish. Obviously, don't hurt people. Don't be a douchebag. Those are just obvious things. Harm not, But they should be free to experience this thing and have the same equal opportunity to do so. Because we're all here, and all the rules that put us in all of our little subcategories, rich and poor and black and white and Methodist and whatever, those are all made up. Every single shred of it has been put here by humans. They made these rules. They made what perfection is supposed to be. Here's a gnarly point if you want to chase perfection, and I'm going to get all the women here all fired up. Now remember, I'm on your side, ladies. I'm pointing this out because I think it's awful. Go back and look at all generations and look at what hot women were. Look at them over and over, and even during generations. 2 or 3 changes. From thick to thin to curves to not curves to blondes to brunettes to this way to that way, and they're supposed to keep up with this. That's that perfection they're trying to put out there for you. When all of that was made up.
Right, Mark? Yes.
So what else? The social yes.
Yes.
Look what they do to men. Like,
Same
they
thing.
make us,
Yes.
They make us like, you're not supposed to have emotions. You're supposed to be tucking that all in.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to really act like you care sometimes. You're just supposed to be like stone, and that cracks us. That destroys us. It's in our little points, and it's impossible to be that person. That's why there's a lot of guys out there that are really messed up because they think they're supposed to be a certain way, or they think, like what Chad was saying, this is the idea of a perfect woman, and then they become toxic. Toxic masculinity is another point in the world right now.
You know what makes my woman perfect for me? Her empathy. I know, isn't that crazy? Don't get me wrong. My wifey, she hot. I love her. But that is what got me.
Empathy is like a very low commodity right now. I wish there was more of it.
It's an extreme rarity.
Yeah.
My wife, I don't want to say too much because y'all know that I've been with my wife since we were in grade school or high school.
He's definitely married way above his pay grade, y'all.
Yes, she's my hero. I absolutely adore her. She is brilliant and beautiful and kind and thoughtful and all of those things.
She is.
But she has never been one to wear much makeup, if any at all. And and she is absolutely beautiful. And in our journey, I'll give a couple examples. One is the people, sadly, women that we would come across that would give her unsolicited makeup tips. Oh, I see you're not covered in makeup. You should be. Blah 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 blah. Right. So sometimes it's weird situations like that. But another example would be she has always gotten nauseous if we go long trips in a car. Long trip, 20, 30 minutes, whatever, or more. So consequently, since we were in high school, when we went somewhere, she drove. That way, when we arrived wherever we were going, she wasn't sick when we got there. To me, it was a perfectly reasonable thing. But
Sure.
I grew up, we're from the South, and people think certain things, and men and women are supposed to have certain roles. And I've literally been in fistfights with people because they had to make a comment about who was driving. More than once, multiple occasions. There have been literal fistfights.
I can't believe the little woman driver.
Right, and then usually it says some misogynistic, condescending shit, and they just said it to my wife. That didn't go well. So, which leads to some other Southern stereotypes that I partook in. but the reality is that, yeah, there are these, there's these perceptions, and how uncomfortable physically have women had to be just to have the right appearance in this pursuit of perfection, right? There's this perfect...
Women pass away from that.
Yes.
Like
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yes.
And I think that probably started shortly after we came out of the trees
Yeah.
and
Pretty
started
Yes.
walking upright.
Pretty much.
Yes.
That's,
Yes. Well, in our lifetime,
shortly after that.
I was born in the very, very, very early 70s. And in my lifetime, women were not allowed to have their own bank accounts without their husband's name on them. They couldn't have their own
Couldn't buy
credit
a house?
cards. They could not buy a house. My mother, I can remember we had a trailer when I was a child. I was probably 5 years old. And it was just her and I. And the guy that ran the trailer park, a requirement to be in that particular trailer park was you had to have skirting around the bottom of your trailer. My mom rented the place, we moved in, and then the guy took all the skirting off of that trailer and put it on another trailer, and then told her she had to go get skirting. And my mom had me young, so here's a 23-year-old kid with a 5-year-old kid living on her own, trying to make ends meet. And there's just an example of somebody trying to take advantage of a situation. Now, my mom was scrappy, so she put up a fight. That's why I remember it. But as long as I remember, people have been trying to take advantage of my mom. And she's been in the restaurant business her entire life. Waiting tables, managing, bartending, all of that kind of thing. So you want to get a view at trying to perfect the human station or being. Spend some time bartending or waiting tables. You learn about folks.
Yeah.
There's another good example, right? How many people think going into a restaurant and being rude to the waitstaff is acting like being rich?
I think it's acting like being a dick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but how many times have you seen, like, that's a poor person's perception of what being rich means, right? Is go in a restaurant and you just get to boss people around and talk to them any kind of way. Well, that ain't really
poor person's rich man.
right.
Those are popular.
Right. So, at any rate, I think we all agree then that the human side of the pursuit of perfection is more important than the actual product, right? Whether we're making guitars or sculptures or individual pieces of artwork, when we're doing that, we are pursuing the best thing that we can produce, that we can make as creators. But it is all informed by those other things behind us, right? It is all informed by these other, the human side of us, the biocentric side of us. That's what drives it, right? And my pursuit of the woodworking field I steered away from formal training. It's the one thing that I've done in my life that is self-taught. Now I've had help. I've learned, of course, from a lot of different people, but working on planes was a lot of technical training. College degree was a lot of college courses. The woodworking journey was a completely individual journey, and look where I ended. Look where it took me. I absolutely love my job. I get to do the most fun shit ever with the most fun people ever. And I didn't follow any of the rules.
You have some of the coolest jobs in the world.
I didn't follow any of the rules in woodworking. I didn't go to any of the classes you're supposed to go to. I didn't go to any of the meetings. I'm not in any of the guilds. I didn't go to any of the galleries. I didn't join any of the clubs. None of them. And I get to work I get to work with the people that I actually circled. And it's like, man, I'd like to work with these people. That's who I get to work with. So I think that would be my advocacy for bet on yourself too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get so dependent on the system as far as like formal training. I'm not talking about basic education. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying you don't have to go get a 4-year degree to pursue your life's dream, right? You could.
I was talking with somebody earlier about that today, wasn't I?
I mean, I worked hard. I worked really hard to get my degree. And I was the first person in my family with my last name to get one. So it mattered to me because I got little brothers. But the reality is, if I'd have started the woodworking journey out of high school and never worked on planes and never written training programs and all that stuff, my life would have been a different journey probably. I don't know. All of those other things I'm glad I did because they brought me to where I am. But I can tell you that I've had a profession that was based in technical training, aircraft. I've had a profession based in collegiate course type training, and I've had a profession that just simply loved what I was doing, which is woodworking. And like I said, I get to work with the people I circled on the list that I would like to work with.
And that's the nice thing, because that brings us to like team, right? Like we all work together. We're not working together for perfection. And this is the thing I had circled too. Vince Lombardi said, "Gentlemen, and he was a famous coach for the Green Bay Packers, by the way. Gentlemen, we will chase perfection, and we will chase it relentlessly, knowing all the while we can never attain it, but along the way, we shall catch excellence." And I think that's what we do together. I think that's what we try to and we strive for together.
That's cool.
I'm better at what I do because I know you guys. That's all there is to it. I'm better at what I do because I see you guys on TikTok and I see your posts and everything, and you kind of boost me and you make me want to do more. Makes me want to excel, and I think I wouldn't have got that anywhere else. I tried to find that in my own community, and I couldn't. But it feels like
Same.
I found my group, the Broken, the Misfit Toys, the Black Sheep, all those folks. Yeah, one of us, the ones that were thrown to the side, and we're all working together. And we were all thrown to the side because we have these ideas where we want to work together and we want a better community and we want a better life. And I think that's what we all found. And
there's a lot of opposition to that right now.
I know. And that's the nice thing, is that we found each other, and we're trying and we're striving, and we're trying for excellence, not perfection.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Lombardi was right. I disagree with him on some stuff, but that was absolutely right.
Oh yeah.
Abby, it's weird. It's funny. You said you thought about going back to school for history, midlife crisis. I kind of already saw you as a historian in a lot of ways, so I think that would be perfect. I think you're one of the most knowledgeable people about those subjects we were talking about earlier that I've found. So, yeah, certainly. you know, that's another thing. Crimson made a really good point earlier too. Crimson, if you're still in here, type it again because I just wasn't able to keep up. But you know, I said earlier that you don't need a college degree to pursue whatever your dream is. On the other hand, I am college educated. That does help me. I did learn a lot of stuff in school that I would have not otherwise known, and I do put it into practice. I mean, my degrees are in psychology and special education. It's a, you know, minor major with a minor. But my minor, I actually have more credits than my major. So, and I walked away from my master's when I started my woodworking journey. This is a true story. I was in my final project at UNC Asheville. I was in a master's MLA program. I had 27 credits or 26 credits or whatever. I was on my last class, and a friend of mine called me and asked me to help him take down a barn, an apple barn here in the town I live in. And I did, and I started making stuff with that wood, and I never went back. I never finished. I never went back and got that degree. So I am overqualified as far as college goes for what I do for a living, but I can assure you that those things help me in how we do the Ginn Project Show and how we did the Chad Rev Art Show and how I perform when I'm hanging out on Ashman's Basic Art Show. Like every bit of you know, all of the stuff that I learned in the Air Force about leadership and about, you know, you see them applied, right, Chad? Chad will tell you this. I don't gamble with my friends, and I don't play practical pranks on my friends. Because you don't want to do things that could make people believe for a minute that they can't trust you. Right? If you're especially if you're in any kind of leadership position or on any kind of, you know, any kind of volunteer position or something like that. So, the reality is that it is all a pursuit of perfection, but you know, some of the stuff that I learned in the Air Force, I have since disregarded. Some of the stuff I've learned growing up in the South, a lot of stuff I learned growing up in the South, I have since disregarded and in fact disagree with. So, you know, I don't have the same opinions about some things that I had when I was 18 years old. I'm 54 now. I shouldn't have the same opinions as an 18-year-old kid. I've seen some shit. The 18-year-old me hadn't seen a whole lot yet relative to what I've seen since then, right? I guess for an 18-year-old kid, I'd seen quite a bit. But go ahead and add 30-something years to that. Art, the purest end result is perfection. Right on, Kira. Well, Kira is an internationally galleried artist, been doing it for some decades, at least one. She's a young lady. But she knows what she's talking about. And look at her. Man, we've described her artwork as perfection. Like we've said, if I was doing the same type of stuff as Kira, I would quit and do something else because she's got it. Right? Like,
well, how many times have we talked about this? Like we look at our own work and all we see is the imperfection, you know, and that's the thing. I look at my stuff and people are like, oh my God, that is really cool. And I look at it and go, I did this wrong. This looks like crap. That's off. And that's all there is to it. You know, we're always going to see our artwork or our woodwork or whatever we're doing. We're going to see those little problems. Other people won't. So, you know, some people will, you know, nitpick and that sort of thing. But the majority of people just see the overall product and go, oh, this is really cool. And we're the hardest critics on our work. I think that's all there is to it.
Well, and somebody else might see that piece as Crimson. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. Music is a lot like that too, right? Like we have, it's funny, Chad and I, right? I wasn't really into dark art. There were certain dark art things that I liked always for whatever reason. There, I have skulls in my shop, so, but there's something about what Chad does and the way he does it and the meaning. I think to me, a lot of it has to do also with the meaning behind it, right? The fact that here's this guy that, escapes from a cult, goes on to become this artist that is an advocate for women, and how difficult that is to navigate because we don't have it all figured out. We make mistakes. We're men. We do dumb shit. Like, I think of things that I said to my wife years ago as a younger man now that I'm like, what the I'm thinking, like, what is wrong with me? But so
It's called growing.
That's the other thing that we're juxtaposed against perfection on, right? Is men's and women's roles or station in society, or like you were saying earlier, are they Methodist or Protestant or what? Which one of the Abrahamic faiths are they from, or are they like? All I see is people just trying to hurt each other over silly stuff.
Here's an example. I don't mean to interrupt
crazy.
you, but it goes right along. You want to talk about perfection is perception. As he just mentioned, I was raised in a cult. You want to talk about what their ideology of perfection is?
It has to do with skin color and
Yes.
and some other things, I would imagine.
And
Some
yes,
gender roles.
all the things. Gender roles, sexual preferences, the color of your skin, which denomination under which Abrahamic umbrella that you specifically fit to, what is a sin and what is not a sin. When I went to my grandmother's funeral, it was at a different church than my family church. And this was years after I had left. I was literally the only person in the entire building with earrings. Not man, person. Only person. So you can imagine if some people's idea of perfections include things like that. And I won't even start on the place that they put women. It's gross.
And let's not forget, historically speaking, since we were talking about history in here, and we got to be really careful, especially on this platform when we talk about history. But historically speaking, when societies start casting folks out, that usually doesn't last. Because eventually they come to you, right? Eventually you're if everybody has to be in agreement all the time on all the issues, and you ostracize someone every time they don't agree with you on something, pretty soon it's going to be a pretty small circle.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have a whole bunch of people inside your circle, none of which will tell you what they actually think.
This is very
And that
true.
gets me back. That gets me back to working with you guys and Severed and S.A. and Laura and Spurs and Eve and all of the folks, right? All of the people, all of us that do a lot of stuff together. And there's a lot of other people on that list. That's just there is a power in that, right? We always talk about that. We don't have teams of lawyers. We don't have teams of research people. You know what we got? Hey, baby. We got Laura. Am I right, Ash? Am I right,
Yeah,
Chad?
absolutely.
We don't need teams of research people. We're able to be effective because people like Laura and Spurs and others, obviously there's many others, Stitch and Flutterby and blah, blah, blah. But there's a ton of them, yeah. And the blah, blah, blah is just meant like there's a lot of them, and they're all important. And it's not possible. We would not be able to do what we do because we also started just working on lives and not paying attention to the chat. Because if you're sculpting or you're doing what I do, that's the only way you can really actually work and do what we do. You can't, like, you might lose some digits if you don't focus. Stuff turns at a high speed sometimes around here. Or the blades are all really sharp, right? Chad was with me on a live and I stuck a chisel through my hand, or actually to the bone in my finger. But
What was it? Rock, paper, scissors, table saw?
yeah, right. So everybody has a different need. Some people just can turn on a live and they don't really have to have their brain engaged, right? But if you're Chad and you're doing a carving and you're doing this on a live, not only do you have to have your brain engaged for the carving, but you got to be able to trust that the live is handled. Because you don't want somebody coming in your live saying a bunch of racist stuff or a bunch of misogynistic stuff or bigoted stuff or whatever. And that will happen if you turn your back and there's nobody monitoring things.
Well, look what happened last night. You and I were sitting there talking about stickers. And you're like, oh, Ash, do you have your stickers? I'm like, no, they're boxed. And you're like, oh, yeah, I boxed mine too. And we're looking around and Laura's like, you got them on a board right there. And we're both like, oh, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, this one right here.
Right. And I'm like looking at it and you're sitting in front of it. And it's like, we didn't think about it. We didn't think about it, but Laura was on point. We work as a team.
Find an actual sticker, right? Like your brain kind of gets locked in like that too, right? We
all think differently. We need everybody to think differently, but just to work together.
How much joy? And this is a loaded question, and I'll answer for myself. Y'all don't have, but let me rephrase this. I cannot describe to you how much joy I have derived from our collaborations. Chad and I, Ash and I, all of those people that we named, anybody that I've done a collaboration with, on all of these people you see behind me, are amazing artists, and I know in one way or another. But how many times have I been able to just kind of stop and be like, man, that was pretty fun, or that was pretty cool, and I never would have had that experience. Or how many times have I been able to change what I was doing because I learned something from Ash or from Chad or Severed or Kira? Or I know it's hard to learn anything from Kira. I realize this. She's only like one of the smartest people on the planet, probably. But look, Kira came on and did a show, our first panel discussion, and she did a show on the ins and outs and do's and don'ts and the gallery thing and that kind of stuff. And it's over there available for anybody that wanted to watch it. That any beginning artist that was trying to figure out figure out the ropes should go watch that video. And
even if you've been in the game for a minute, go watch the video.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's very true. But that's the wealth of knowledge that we have available to us. Ashman was in galleries for so long he got sick of dealing with galleries. That's Ashman's story. Ashman is a vociferous artist, right? Like, he does all kinds of mediums, all kinds of different things, and he has made a living selling his art. You have made art, like you actually also made abstract art for, was it hotels
and banks and that sort of thing? Yeah.
You've sold art through galleries. You had your art damaged in galleries. You've done your own shows, your own type of production type stuff. You were in a band. So I would assume that every piece of art that you do is informed by that entire journey, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And that too, I think, hey, Salty, I think my work is informed by the people that I respect the most. Is simply
Which is
put,
why you learn nothing from Kira.
but I do have some little duckies because of Kira.
Oh, I'm gonna break, guys. At the end of the show, I'm gonna break out the duck bomb. So just get ready for
Duck
that.
bomb. Get ready for the duck bomb. For those viewing at home, for those that do not know, Kira is our friend. So please do not send us hate mail. We love Kira. We have a lot of respect for Kira. Kira teaches us stuff every day, and that's the inside joke, that we're the dummies and Kira's actually the smart one, is the reality. We're just the ones that you see. So we get all the credit for being smart because people like Kira tell us what to do on here. Mondo. Jeff, what's up, buddy? So we got Salty Vault, Mondo, Jeff, Stitch, Vicky, Kira, Victoria. How are you? Good to see you, Victoria. Laura, Rebecca, Dirty 530 was in here. So thank you, everyone, for coming in and hanging out with us. We very much appreciate it. Thank you also to Abby for coming in and hanging out with us. That was awesome. Getting to see someone that you have a lot of respect for roll through. That's cool. So guys, it's up to us because as Ashman and Chad say, we do what we want. Normally
We do what we want.
Oh, Vicky,
Hey, no
I hope
worries,
you're
Vicky.
getting better. No worries, Vicky.
Yeah,
at
please
all.
get better.
No, we're just glad to see you when you're able.
Yes.
Please get better. So if there's anybody in the chat that wanted to add their name to the list, I have Jason, I have Rachel, and I have Mikey. One time only, we were making it a little easier for folks to say, hey, I'd like to be on the show. This does not guarantee that you're going to be on the show. It just means that you are now officially on the list. That list is 80-something
Victoria
people
Maxwell
long.
Art.
We do an interview every other week. So,
Victoria Maxwell Art would like to be on the list, please.
got you, Victoria.
About
That's
that.
awesome. Maxwell. So we'll be on for probably 30 more minutes or so. So anybody wants to think about it, and anybody wants to add their name to the list to potentially get on the Ginn Project Show, we will do that. It occurred to me that we changed the rules of how to get on the show, and for some people that kind of left them kind of in the middle ground there. So yeah, Jeff, you've been on the Ginn Project Show, buddy.
Sarcastic ass. Guys, Jeff is our friend too. No hate mail for that.
Right?
Manny echoes.
Yeah. Manny, heard that.
Oh. Are you going to be doing that live, Abby?
Oh, what you got? I will be reading The Last Unicorn in a half-hour bedtime story.
Oh, wow. Neat.
Right on. In a half hour from right now at 11 o'clock. Okay, so when we wrap up here, folks, everybody go over to
Party's
Abby's for story time. Yes, everybody go to Abby's. Absolutely. I promise you, folks, it's worth it. I'm telling you. And I do. Once again, disclaimer, Abby does not know me. We've never met. She has no idea who I am. She just happened to come through the live. But I promise you, go check out what she does. She's really, really good. She is a true humanitarian. She's very knowledgeable. She's got some awesome musician friends. And she just does all kinds of cool stuff.
Cool.
Ashman and Chad, you both have something in common as well. And it's this internal drive, right? That's the other thing that we didn't really talk about in that pursuit of perception conversation, I think, is it's all internally driven, right? And we can change our perception of what that means. So it doesn't have to stay the same, right? I now have a fused right ankle. It doesn't move. It's fused at 90 degrees. So my opportunity to win the tour surfing circuit on the big wave tour is probably not going to come to fruition, right?
Morning, mate.
I had to adjust my expectations, man. I'm probably not going to play for the United States rugby team anymore, right? Like, so sometimes as we learn new information, we have to be willing to change our expectations. And no, I'm not saying lower your expectations. I'm saying redefine them if you need to, because sometimes we get caught up like looking for the stickers, literally, and they're right behind us, right? Sometimes stepping outside of that kind of cubicle that we've built for ourselves will allow us to, I would argue, better pursue that perfection. Change is a constant, always expect it. Yeah, Manny, back in the day. Fish's Foe, thank you for joining us. Mondo, that's another dude I know Ash has a thing for Mondo. I know you don't really care for Mondo, do you? It's the balloons, isn't it, Ash? It's the balloons, right? Just kidding, y'all. We love Mondo. For those of you that know us, the folks that we're closest to are the ones we kid with. We don't like. All you got to do is tell us not to kid with you anymore, and we won't kid with you anymore. If we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We just. But Mondo is the evil Jeff Goldblum. I don't care what anybody says.
He is. He is. He's Jeff Goldblum's evil twin.
Chuck Franklin, another amazing artist. So, yeah, I know, Vicky, right? So I think that Ash was the most poignant in his articulation of it's a group thing. That's what we all enjoy the most about it. That's what makes Chad keep coming back. That's what makes me keep coming back. That's what makes Ash keep coming back, is this community that we found, right? And for us, that journey, that pursuit of excellence, led us to each other, led us to all of the fun things we get to do. Like, in Atlanta, what was it, last month? We all, me and you, or me and Chad and Ash and Eve and Lenny and S.A. Artistries, and we all got to go to S.A. show, break bread together, kind of have a good time, hang out at S.A.'s. I got to go meet up with Ash and Eve for breakfast there. I didn't eat, but I dipped in and interrupted their breakfast. So that's the other thing, is, as a guy who worked in his basement by himself for a lot of years, happily, for the most part, there were people in and out occasionally. But like we've talked about, Chad, I never knew what I was missing, right? But this is going to Ashman soon for a guitar that he's going to be doing the artwork on. Where were we going to source the next this year, Chad? Do you remember what were we going to do about next? We were going to buy the next.
We were going to buy bolt-on necks, and instead he is handcrafting them.
No, we're going to bolt them on.
To answer your question, Abby, Ginn is in North Carolina.
Waynesville.
Ashman's somewhere in Arizona, in the desert heat. And I am in Southwest Missouri, very bottom corner.
We've been over in the area west of Asheville, over in the Waynesville-ish area, for about 18 years now. Originally from the Gulf Coast. Oh man! Let us see. You gotta let us see. Oh, or might not be able to.
Hang on. I gotta take the phone out.
I think I think we're about to see a Dotson. Uh-oh.
About the size of one. Actually, hey, come here, kiddo. Come here.
What a cutie.
This is Taffeta. Taffy, darling. Taffy, darling.
Salty. What kind of dog is that, Chad?
That is an American bully. And I have...
She's a cutie. She's a cutie.
Yes, that's actually
Little
my
wiggle
daughter's
butt.
dog.
She's a wiggle butt. Whole body wiggle.
She is very, like, turn herself into a donut kind of wiggle butt.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. That's awesome.
Yep. Yep. That is old Taffeta. Taffeta, darling. Taffeta. Anybody name the movie?
No.
Taffeta, darling. Taffeta.
So added to the
No.
list
Sounds
tonight,
familiar.
Taffeta.
we got Jason, Rachel, Mikey, Victoria, and Manny.
Isn't that crazy?
And I said I wasn't
Okay.
going to put
Yes,
any more
Kira.
people on the list. Hey, Jimmy, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. Chad, would you
Yo.
mind doing another announcement for our friend Johnny Ray and our friend Rebecca while you're in here, buddy?
I
and
would
you got those
love to. I would love to. All right, guys, listen.
deets? Since we can see you, I just like
Yeah.
the fact that I can put you in the big box and we can see you. We see you, Chad. Your skin
Dang,
suit's
I'm
looking
hurt.
good too, buddy. Skin
It's a
suit
brand
is
new
looking
skin suit.
good. It's looking good.
Brand new skin suit.
You
Hope
know the
guys
new
like
ones smell really nice too. They come like pre-scented. After a while, they start getting a little ripe.
it. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. We have two of our friends, our family members right now, part of our art community. Wonderful, excellent people. We have Johnny Ray and Rebecca
Spurs, we
both
love
in here with us right now. We have GoFundMe's set up for both of these ladies because they are both battling cancer. I take this very serious because I beat cancer a few times already myself. So they need your help, guys. Drop $1. If you don't have $1, just share it out to everywhere, any social platform that you can, because somebody somewhere will be able to help a little more, and they need all the help they can. They're both warriors, but let me tell you, it sucks. It sucks. I ain't gonna church it up for you. Chemotherapy blows. It really does, guys. And it causes you to not be able to work, which means you don't have money coming in. But the rent and the mortgage, all that does not stop. The grocery bill does not stop. The water bill and the electric bill, they do not stop. You need gas to go to your appointments. I know specifically that Johnny Ray is going to have to go spend like a month at least down in Oklahoma City, away from her home. She's also the caretaker for her mom, so she's got to leave her mom there at home for like a month. She's got to go do this, guys. This is some brutal stuff. Everybody says they want to change the world. Everybody wants to do stuff, then be a hero. And you don't have to wear a damn cape or jump over a building to be a hero. You can help folks in need right now, at this moment, and be a hero. It's that simple.
In our bio,
You don't even have to spend money. You can at least share. What's that, brother?
I was getting Victoria. You can find in our bios. You can find in the link tree. You can find a link to Johnny's GoFundMe. I do believe Chad had a post about it. I don't want to misspeak on that. On this
Yes, I
platform,
do.
I believe you did on this one, and others.
Yes.
But I would like to say this as well. Chad had leukemia as a child, and twice as an adult has had to deal with this horrible chemo that she is going through, and survived it. And he's also has had a kidney transplant. So the man knows what he's talking about. He's not coming from a place of just asking, and he doesn't know what he's asking for. He's asking because he's been through it and he understands what their needs are.
Yeah, it's
Fair to say.
it's hard. It's rough, and a lot of folks got me through it. Like, there's a whole team of people. I can't even say that. Like a whole, I don't know what you'd call it. There's so many folks that got me through it, from
Jim.
emotional support to financial help to you name it.
Sorry, Rebecca.
It takes a whole lot of people, and
Yes.
that's what we talk about a lot, is taking care of other people, no matter what that need is.
And this
Helping.
is how people end up on the street.
Yes.
This is exactly
Yes.
how people end up on the street. Right here.
Mhm.
They have some kind of medical issue.
Sorry, Hattie.
No fault of their own. Oftentimes, I'm not saying this is the case now, but I'm from an area that isn't far from a Superfund site. I lost multiple relatives to cancer. My father passed away from cancer. This is another example how what we were talking about earlier, how people can not have enough to eat, not have a place to live, all of those things through no fault of their own. I would argue that a cancer diagnosis isn't your fault.
Right.
Leukemia specifically, like, you know what I mean? It ain't like
Lymphoma,
it ain't like
yeah.
you picked that up
Yeah.
doing stuff you wasn't supposed to be doing or something. So even if you try to make that argument, it don't hold water in this situation, right? So
Yeah.
we were talking about communities, and we were talking about humanity, and we were talking, I was talking about having to go to school with extra clothes for kids, and included in that list of people were folks that couldn't take care of their kids because they had medical issues of their own. Oftentimes the kids were trying to take care of their parents. You never know what somebody else is going through. Be safe, protect yourself, but try to give the benefit of the doubt when you can. Because that's what worries me about our friend Rebecca and our friend Johnny Ray, is they're fighting for their lives right now. But they also got to worry about where their next meal is going to come from. And they also got to worry about keeping a roof over their head. And they also got to worry about taking care of mom, or taking care of this relative or that relative. Or it doesn't, a cancer diagnosis doesn't come with a free pass on life. You still have all the life shit going on. You just have that extra thing
Bills keep
going on, right? It isn't
When
as if life clears the table for you. That's what we hope to do as a community. Clear the table as much as possible so they can focus on fighting the battle in front of them.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to worry about those things while you're fighting for your own life and health. You should not have to worry about those things. And as we've said many a times, there ain't nobody coming to save you. We're going to save ourselves, guys. That's it. People taking care of people. Ain't nobody else going to step in and fix everything. And none of us can fix everything. But we can all fix a little, with just a little bit of empathy and a little bit of motivation behind that empathy. And my daughter asked me a question earlier that was a really hard question to answer. She asked me, we're in the truck driving, she says, "Daddy, what made you decide to be a really kind person and help people instead of being mean?"
Did you start crying, dude? I would have.
No, I had to start thinking. I didn't have time for that because I have to give her an answer. Because
that was heavy, though.
I mean, she's
that was heavy.
She's a grade school
Dad,
kid.
why are you such a good dude?
Well, and at her age, my answer is probably going to weigh a lot for a long time and do a lot to sculpt who she is later in life.
Yeah.
So I had to sit there and explain to her from many different angles of why kindness is the answer. And there was so many different things to tell a child about that. And I just started. I said, well, being mean, first off, is lazy and stupid. I said, it's much more difficult
Awesome, Victor.
to go out of your way to be kind. I said, it's real easy just to blow people off and not care about other people's lives. That's really, really simple. I said, but if you have a... Yes, she's your collaborator, Kira. I said, if you have a problem, and it's a big problem, how would you want the people around you to act? Would you want them to be assholes? Or would you want them to be helpful and make sure that you're taken care of? I said, because how you act is the surroundings that you're going to have. I said, if you're a jerk, all your friends are going to be jerks. And if you need help, you're probably not going to get it because your friends are jerks. And I was like, and I had to go into explaining. I said, there's plenty of meanness and violence in this world. It's everywhere. You can close your eyes, throw a dart, and you're going to hit something dark and terrible and rude. I said, it's harder to find that kindness. And I also went into explaining to her that what you put in is going to continue to go. And this is stuff we've talked about as well. I said, if you go into like a store and you're nice to the cashier, you just added to the positivity of her day. Which may mean when the next person comes through line, she's going to be that much more positive. No matter where she was on the scale, you've added some positivity to the equation of that person running the register. So the way she reacts with the next person is going to be a step up in positivity, which should, if everything goes right, causes a domino effect. That's right, Vicky. The next person that cashier took care of, she then deposited positivity into that person's day. And it continues to ripple out. The same with negativity. And I asked her back, I circled all the way back around. I said, now, the world that you're living in, what do you want it to be full of? Because you're creating what it's full of. Every drop. Every time you interact with anybody, you are filling the world with its content. I said, and that was what I figured out and made me as kind as I can try to be now. So I don't know if that helps anybody, but that was a question asked by my grade school daughter. And that was a very small portion and shortened version of our talk.
It's beautiful, man.
It's just common, you know?
You started a legacy of kindness, is how I would describe that. And the way I'm able to relate to that is my business is named after my stepfather. Me and my dad were tight too, my real dad. But my stepfather's mom's name was Sissy Ginn. And so she was my step-grandmother. But she is one of my favorite people ever. She passed away when I was in college. But she had absolutely zero blood relation to me. But when I was a wee guy, she took care of me like I was truly her grandson. And I think of her as my grandmother all these years later. But it was that kindness, right? There were other people in my life. Like I said, my stepfather, there are obviously people I'm related to as well. But some of the most influential people in my life weren't actually blood relatives. They were, half or married to or whatever. And it's ironic that we find ourselves among people that all have a sort of, in bits and pieces, broken past in some ways. And that's one thing that I admire about you two is you've both been through a lot in your life, and you're not bitter, angry old dudes. You're joyful and kind and generous. In Ash's case, charming. But you've been through some things, and that to me is remarkable as well, because I've known some people that have been through some things as well and became bitter, and it consumed them, that bitterness. And they never achieved any of the things they wanted to achieve, and they were not happy about it in their last days. And you're right, life is too short to be bitter and alone.
Yeah.
And yes,
We,
absolutely.
factually, we only get to do it once. So, I mean, do you want to sit around being pissed off?
Not
I
really.
mean, that's easy.
Not
That
really.
goes back to being lazy. It's easy to sit down and be pissed off and think about stuff that's already happened. It's a lot easier than to get up and create.
Yes,
It's easy.
yes, 100%. We got
Destruction is
Abby,
always
this-
easier than construction.
Abby the Spoon Lady is going to be telling the story at 11 o'clock. I would highly encourage everybody in here to go check her out. We've been talking
Yes.
about kind of the pursuit of perfection and how that's related to community and that kind of thing. And I will say it again. She has no idea who I am. But I have a lot of respect for her, her mission, kind of the way she does things, the way she treats people. I have a lot of respect for. So I would implore you, please go show Abby some love. I'm gonna go over there and try to see if I can, hit the like button sometimes in the chat.
Show her what our community is capable of.
Yes. Please go over, give Abby some support. She said in 30 minutes, which I believe meant it was 11 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, 6 minutes from now.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play us out just a wee bit early to give us a chance to all vacate the premises and everything. That'll get Chad putting his bed to daughter. Please apologize to your daughter for me tonight. She's going to have to go to bed on time because Uncle Ash and Uncle Dion didn't stall Daddy. Thanks to everyone for coming in and hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. The last of this month, we've got Sweaty Palms coming on. The very first Tuesday in November, we've got our buddy Matty Pace. I had some things going on. We had one of our cats that wasn't doing well. I don't have anything officially scheduled. We were going to kind of feel it out and see where we were. So I'll take care of that. But we do got a good lineup coming up. We got Sweaty Palms coming up 2 weeks from now. We got Matty Pace coming back on. I'm really looking forward to that. That's our dude right there. Please tell my collaborator, the Dragon Librarian, is going to have an ink sprite companion. That's awesome.
I think you guys need to chat soon, Kira. I think the two of you need to have maybe a video chat or something soon.
Mama T, thank you for taking care of the people. We appreciate you. We see you. Ashman, do you got anything, buddy?
I think the only thing I wanted to say was, we were talking about kindness for everybody else. Be kind to yourself. That's all I can say. Be kind to yourself because
that's where it starts.
You need to.
That's where it starts.
We forget that. Right. A lot of us forget that. He's right. A lot of us forget that. Ashman's Basic Art Show, Wednesday nights, 4 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. You got Chad Rev Art. You got to turn notifications on. You'll be able to catch the three of us over on the Favorited on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock in the Low Orbit Lounge, where we have discussions kind of like this, actually, sometimes. Or sometimes we're just cutting up, acting an ass. Anyway, thank y'all so much for joining us. We're going to play you out with the Ginn Project song brought to you by Black Country Guitars over there in England. Appreciate everybody. Please go check out Ashman's site. Please go check out Chad's site. And please go give Abby the Spoon Lady some support. I promise you won't be disappointed. She's amazing. I promise you. Trust me. Trust me on this. Appreciate y'all. Do your thing. Be nice to people.
He's got a bed
Don't be a jerk.
Magic grows, carving out dreams with the wood he knows. Strings hum secrets, stories unfold on a Ginn Project Show where the soul runs deep. He builds guitars, makes the music speak. Artists come and the rhythm flows on the Ginn Project Show. Sawdust dances a smoky tune, shaping the heart of a six-stringed moon. Every thread whispers, every note booms. You can hear the grain, it cries and laughs through the hands of a man down a winding path. On the Ginn Project Show, where the soul runs deep, he builds guitars, makes the music speak. Artists come and the rhythm flows on the Ginn Project Show. Yeah, that's how it goes. His hands are calloused, his mind's a spark, turning wood into lightning, striking the dark. And the artists they come, they lay their scars to the hum of his handmade stars. His hands are calloused, his mind's a spark, turning wood into lightning, striking the dark. And the artists they come, they lay their scars to the hum of his handmade stars. Yeah! His hands are calloused, his mind's a spark, turning wood into lightning, striking the dark. And the artists they come, they lay their scars to the hum of his handmade stars. That's how it goes.